So we just mentioned that during the president's visit to the library earlier today, President Trump checked out one of the interactive experiences that are there, and you can talk to this AI Theodore Roosevelt. Let's watch. We have video of it now.
Every day, a president faces storms most people never see. Keep your nerve and remember the nation comes first. You get through. I know you know that feeling yourself.
Well, I appreciate those words. Those words are fantastic. And I just want to say it's an honor to be with you today. We are making a little bit of a tour, some of the fantastic things you've done.
Very cool. It's a great experience. I did it yesterday, and it's really interesting to see President Trump in there. Let's bring in Brian Kilmeade, co-host of Fox and Friends, host of One Nation, and the Brian Kilmeade Show. He wrote a book about Theodore Roosevelt, and Kellyanne Conway joins us as well, former senior counselor to President Trump, now president of KA Consulting and a Fox News contributor as well. And we have Douglas Brinkley joining us today as well, presidential historian and author, wrote a book about Roosevelt as well. He serves on the board of this presidential library, and if it weren't for a knee injury, he would be here today as well. So, Douglas, let me start with you. Your thoughts as you see this dream of you and so many others actually come to fruition today, and President Trump cut that ribbon.
Well, since the early 1990s, I would regularly come out to western North Dakota, and I want everybody to go visit the Badlands there. It's the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It's very family friendly. The town of Medora never over strip malled itself. It stayed very mom and pop. So you can go to a bookstore, ice cream store, saloon, and it's really just a lovely experience. And then you can go through the national park and see bison and the prairie dog villages, antelope, and understand Western ranching culture. What was missing was sort of a visitor center, something, an interpretive center. And so a lot of people, it started a while ago. That amphitheater at Harold and Silas Schaefer started, and they had a company called Golden Seal. They did Mr. Bubble, and they put money into that many moons ago. And now is the fruition of this amazing Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library, gorgeous building, great vistas, and inside, as you've just shown, it's very AI-driven in many ways, but there's all sorts of documents and original artifacts there. And I wrote for USA Today recently an article that they're displaying the Abraham Lincoln portrait that's been in hiding that J.P. Morgan ended up acquiring, but now it's there, and that's what TR, as president, kept behind him, is that portrait of Lincoln, because every day he sought solace from Lincoln, because no matter how bad Theodore Roosevelt thought he had it in the White House from 1901 to 1909, he knew Lincoln had it worse in the crucible of the Civil War.
That's exactly what I asked TR yesterday in that AI experience about, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln and why it meant so much to him. As a young boy, he was in the window of his home in New York City where he was really confined with his health issues. It's hard to imagine this robust leader as a sickly young boy, but he would have witnessed Lincoln's cortege, the funeral cortege, going through New York City from that window. There's a photograph that's believed to show that he and his brother in the window, which is also part of this museum. Brian, let me bring you in. Your thoughts on the comparison between President Trump and President Roosevelt. They have a lot of similarities in many ways.
First off, it's an honor to be here with your passion for history. Kellyanne, you saw the rise of Donald Trump and the similarities with Teddy Roosevelt. And Douglas Brinkley had so much to do with what that library coming to fruition or happening at all. And not only as a consultant, but as an architect and everything. So in terms of the two, it's amazing. The more you study Roosevelt, the more you see the similarities. Number one, they both took on the Republican establishment. Number two, they also went to bat for the little guy, even though they were both extremely wealthy. Now, for Teddy Roosevelt, it was fascinating because he grew up with wealth but not health. So he understood what it was like to be beat up and picked on and bullied and have to go to school at home and really not have his physical robustness until a little bit later. That gave him a sense of, hey, I know what it's like not to have a lot. He also had a sense of what it was like in the South because his mom grew up in the South. In fact, he had brothers fighting for the Confederacy. And then he grows up and his dad's extremely wealthy, but yet his dad feels guilty because he never fought for the North. He had someone fight for him, and that was a sense of guilt. That's why he wanted to go in the military himself. And then you have a guy that says, what else do I need to do? Well, on February 14th, 1884, he loses his mom and dad his mom and his wife within hours of each other. He finds himself totally disconsolate and said, I got to change this. Gets on a train and ends up where you are right now. Ends up living for 4 years on a ranch and understanding what it was like in the Midwest. And it gave him a sense of solace, and it made him an environmentalist. He ends up setting aside 230 million acres of land and becomes what we see now, some of the greatest parks in the world. And it shaped a president that hit his zenith at 30, 40 years old. And that's what this guy did before he passed away before 60, and look at all he accomplished.
Yeah, 60 years old, bullied sometimes as a child, and then he was in a bar fight here in North Dakota. He punched a guy in the nose and knocked him out. We're definitely building to the president's arrival any moment here. You can hear the music, and I can actually see the beast right below me right now as the president is arriving in the arena. But Kellyanne, your thoughts as you see President Trump talking to that AI image of Theodore Roosevelt and his trajectory, the president's trajectory to this 250th anniversary.
It's such an exciting time, Martha. This event, this visit has been on President Trump's calendar since last year. I talked about it over a year ago with Secretary Burgum. I'm so glad that they were able to do that today for lots of reasons that your two guests have laid out beautifully. But for another one, Martha, as we approach America's 250th birthday, our anniversary of freedom, we want to remind Americans that there's more than the coast or the big cities. You don't even have to go to your state capital, let alone Washington, D.C., to celebrate. There are so many places and spaces in this beautiful country that represent different inflection points in our nation's storied history, and the individuals like President Teddy Roosevelt who shaped this country. One of my cherished colleagues that I currently work with grew up in the Dakotas, and he reminds me that rugged individualism contrasted with some of this rancid socialism now, and that your word was your bond. You worked hard. You love the open spaces. I'm so glad you're bringing this to America today.
Yeah. I feel honored, honestly, to be here. And there's so many families celebrating the 250th anniversary. You see them coming out here with their kids, waiting on long lines. They're so excited to use this as part of their celebration of our amazing country and to learn more about Teddy Roosevelt in this extraordinary place. So I want to thank all of you. They're going to stick around with us as we head closer to President Trump's speech here just a few minutes away. We're going to sneak in a...
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.